Hi guys, welcome to this session on Microsoft Word. In this module, I want to have a look at page borders and paragraph borders. So first of all, let me get some text on the screen, use a bit of auto text and show you how the basic borders work. If you want to border this entire paragraph, you just use this little tool in the paragraph group and you can put all borders on, and you can see a little live preview as I hover over these, right border, left border, but I'll put all borders on. And then if I highlight a bit of text inside this, can I put border on that? This, in the old versions of Word, you weren't able to do that on some occasions. It would just snap to the full paragraph, but as you can see, I can highlight certain words or phrases and put a border on all borders or top border. See, top border, you put the all borders on, so even though I selected top, so that's top, it's still putting the border around the whole paragraph, so you've got some restrictions. Now you can also use the shading tool to shade areas of a paragraph, like so, different colors, obviously not to black it out completely. Now this is different from using the highlight tool. Highlight tool is a first step on tracking, where you want to just to highlight a bit of text or maybe something you want to use or read back over later on. So those are all features of borders. Now down the bottom you've got options to draw a table, but you've got borders and shading as a option, and in there you have all the same things. However, you've also got the bit that I want to look at today, which is page border. But before I do that, let me just do another paragraph, get some more text on here. So this is the auto text I'm just dropping down. So if I just click into this paragraph, go back into that option, borders and shading. So this is on setting on none, but you've got a box there, and then you can pick your line style from this side. Pick a double line like so, and you've got color. You can pick whatever color you want, red, and then you've got even thicker line options if you so wish. Now this is going to apply to a paragraph, but in options you can move that away from the text like so. These are just small points. You can just see the text moving. If I do a bit more on the left, you can see it moving, and then from the top it's coming down. The paragraph is coming away from the border. Click OK. So I'll put this down a little bit because that's a bit mad, that one. So I've moved the text away from the border. If I click OK to that, you can see how it's not tight like this one is. I'll go back into it on this next paragraph, all borders, border and shading. The other options you've got there, you've got 3D, and again I'll just pick a colour, whatever colour that is, and a slightly thicker line, and I'll move away from the border like so. OK to that, and OK to that. So that is slightly 3D. So let's get myself another paragraph. I didn't mean to put a tab on there, but I did. When you double click on the screen, you end up putting a tab on the screen. So you can see how the border has gone into the, there's the margin, indent marker, margin. If I move the indent, there's the margin line. So those boxes you can see are in the margin because I moved them away from the left edge of the text. So the text is still on the margin, but the box is in the margin itself. So that's what happens when you adjust that setting. And the same on this side if you move it away from the text. So the text stays, it's central or aligned to the margins. Let's go back in there again, drop it down. The other option you've got there is custom, and I'll pick red. Just basically allows you to click wherever you want it to go. So I'll just do it like that. And then you can see the different position the line is because I never changed it in options, so it's quite a big difference. Now the page border, which is what I want to talk about for the rest of this session is also in the same place, borders and shading. The next tab there, page border. So what we was doing there, applying to a paragraph, this now will apply the same information to the whole page. So if I just do a red box straight away, first off, click OK, you get that red box around the outside edge, which is very boring. Go back into this and back onto page border. Down the bottom of page border, you've got this option. You've got the art option there at the bottom, and all the way down through this list there are hundreds and hundreds of different styles, and when you go further down you get these sort of like fairly fancy styles. So I always think these are like for certificates. If you want to create a certificate in Word, I'll pick that one. Maybe make that a bit fatter because I want it to be a certificate, and then I haven't got the color option on that. It's going to apply to the whole document, but now you've got other options, not just paragraph as we did on the first tab. You've got section, first page, etc, etc, but I'll do it for the whole document. Same thing with options, is you can move it away from the text or from the edge of the page using these. I'm not going to do that, but basically it'll do the same thing as what we was doing before. Click OK and OK again, you now get that very fancy border around the page. So that's a page border. Now if I drop that down again and go back into it and go back onto page border and just pick a different one further down, these are a bit louder. OK to that one, and then you get the idea there. So if I create a blank page, Control New I just did, and change the page orientation to landscape, so it is like a certificate, just bring that down a little bit, and then you go back to home, put page border on, page border, select the one you want. I love that one, pieces of cake, and OK, you get your pieces of cake, and then you're just going on about creating text boxes for your certificate. I want to draw one actually, and then you just type whatever you want in there. Cake, obviously make that bigger, doing Control square bracket to make the font bigger, and then Control E to center it in that box. I don't want this box there, so you click on the line, shape format, you want to get rid of the shape outline, no outline. So when you click off that, it's still there, but you can move this into the center if you want, like so. So that's how you do a certificate type diagram. Now if I go back, if I close that one down, I'm not going to save that one, back to my other document, and get myself another paragraph. The options you've got in the borders and shading tab, it says borders and shading, but therefore you must be able to do shading. Now you can do shading from there, so you don't need to go into borders and shading if you just want to shade a paragraph, because you can just do that. But let's just do it anyhow. I'll go in there and select shading. You've got the options here of to do a color, which I'll do a light color, and then you can shade it with a second color and a different percentage. So I'll select a different percentage, 50%, and then the second color I'll pick as blue. So then you get a mixture of both, and then you've got the option there to apply it just to the paragraph. OK, and then that comes in. So there's a slight difference when you're using the actual options through this. You've got a limit of these just standard colors. If you go into more colors there, you've got nothing other than straightforward colors, even though you can change the different shade of color, etc. But in the actual borders and shading, you can do this. So I'll pick blue again. This time I'll have it on 25% yellow, or whatever, no, mustard, whatever color that is. So it's just slightly different option. So that's how you can use the shading with the percentage fade, if you like. Now on my toolbar at the top, quick access toolbar, I am always using borders. So I basically right click on that and add it to the quick access toolbar, and it sits up there for when I want to use it. So at the moment it's sitting there. You've got the whole list, so it's got view grid lines. I must have done it when I did it on that one. So if you're doing borders all the time, that is what I would do. I would put it up there, make sure you've got quick access to it. The benefit of doing that is that if you're on a different tab and you want to do a border, you don't have to come back to home all the time. You can just click up there and you've got the thing. Same with the font color. I have that up there, and email and screenshot capture and things like that. Everything you use all the time, put up there. So that is a quick look at page borders and shading in general. So hopefully that was of use to you, and thank you for your time. I'll see you on the next one.